Hello folks, my name is Brian Schuster. I am a software developer, career mentor, and the founder of DevMint School, where we help folks enter the Web3 industry. So one of the things I noticed through my time doing mentorship, whether or not I'm talking to someone on Discord, having a message on LinkedIn, or having a call with somebody who's really interested in the space, is that there's always all these questions about how exactly someone can move best forward. The one thread that goes between all of them is really a question of, how do I increase my opportunities? Most people who want to enter a space are looking for a chance, a reason to be able to move in, or they want to see something that's on the other side. And one of the reasons they don't have that is because they don't really have opportunities in front of them. They don't know how to go find opportunities. Now, the thing is that most people who are asking poorly will come to me and ask me, do you have a job for me, right? And while sometimes that's true, sometimes I have jobs and opportunities, most of the times I don't. And that's usually not the best way to go about it, because while I may be able to give you one opportunity, the best people are the people who can generate many opportunities. So today, for this short video, I'm going to tell you the best ways to increase your opportunities without significantly increasing your time. Now, I'm assuming there that if you're already doing the career changer thing, you're already working some nights and weekends, you're already putting some time extra in so that you can go and find your career. You're already doing those good things. If you're not doing that, that's really the first step. But assuming you already have, let's say, 5 to 10 hours a week that you're spending, you're not sure how to most effectively use that, and you really are starting to learn new things and wondering where are the best opportunities, this is where I would start. First and foremost, before you go off and learn any new technology, anything else in the world, you really need to start with the communities you already have. This can be really anywhere in the world. This can be communities that you spend on YouTube, for example. Maybe you watch a vlogger or you watch some education person online and they already have communities. Maybe this is a Discord group you're a part of because you already enjoy it and you already enjoy some technology. Maybe it's a development group, maybe it's a Slack group. Most people who decide they want to increase their opportunities will often say, I got to learn something new. I got to go into a new space. That's a really, really high energy way to go and do something that you already have. The communities you already have very often already have people who are further along than what you want to do. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to build more, and you're a part of a local Discord group or a local meetup, for example, that has entrepreneurs in it, if you haven't talked to all of them, why don't you spend time talking with them? Building community, building approach is a tough thing. That's going to take time and effort in the long term. But if you already have a relationship in some community, if you already have people you already know, if they already know your face, it's going to be much easier to say hi, figure out what they did, and go about and figure out what they're doing. The deepness of those networks, it's a lot easier to go deep in a network you're already a part of than it is to break into a new group. So if you're looking to very easily increase the number of opportunities you have to figure out what's available and build the sort of relationships that allow you to see new jobs, new opportunities, new places to go, start with the communities you already have. The second thing you're going to want to do is when you're with those communities, regardless if it's a new group or some group you're already a part of, is you need to learn how to build without permission. The best builders in the world I know pretty much ask no one if they can go and build. The biggest struggle I see is that people are looking for a specific problem to be placed in front of them to say, here is my problem, you need to go and build that. And the truth is, most of the things you do in your nights and weekends, unless you're working a full-time job, no one's going to come to you and do that. No one's paying you to be that for them. So very few are going to expect it. But if you go out into the world and you find a problem, you find something you want to go and fix, that you have a unique opportunity to be able to fix, you need to learn to start structuring the problem yourself, go out and build it, and then once you've done an MVP, once you spend 2 weeks building something, or you spend a couple of weekends hacking together a solution, then you go out, then you show people, and you go and build it, you show it to them then. You do not go and ask them what they like. You don't do a lot of testing on it early on to see specifically what they want. People will say they want something, but until they really get something in front of them, until they see that, they're not going to know what it is. So that is your opportunity to build something for them ahead of time. Spend a little bit of effort, a few nights and weekends, to go and build something together. Maybe a week, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a whole month if it's a really big thing, right? But no more than that, to go and show them something, and you'll start to get people to gravitate to you because they'll start to see you're someone who can build, that you're somebody who can provide solutions, and they can go and see what that looks like. The next thing you're going to want to do is when you get into these groups and you start talking to folks, that can be new groups, that can be current groups, ask for informational interviews. This is one strategy I've done over and over and over again in my life. And I've done it inside of big organizations like IBM, where I've asked the big wigs inside the organization, people who manage tens of thousands, 100,000 people, for informational interviews and gotten yeses to that. I've asked people outside of organizations to do this, people in companies I'm just interested in. I've gone on Discord, found people who are really big and asked them for help. And more often than not, they say yes. The best opportunities are often going to come from informal networks you have in your life, kind of these loose groups that exist out there. Often you're going to know the opportunities within your immediate circles, but the best opportunities are going to go through these loose connections you have, a friend of a friend who has some sort of opportunities. And the best way to start opening those up and connecting is to go, say you have an interest in talking with somebody, and then go and ask them for an informational interview. It's really easy. Most people are not going to say no. And most people know they need to do networking anyway, and they aren't doing it. So if somebody who has an interesting background, who has something to say, who's really interested in learning about their life, comes up and says, hey, you have a great career, I really want to understand a little bit more what you're going to do, they're going to be more than happy to take that most of the time. If you can ask it short and effectively, that can be a great strategy to increase your relationships and therefore increase the number of opportunities you have. The next thing you're going to want to do is you should already have a portfolio and resume ready now. What's most shocking to me is I talk to people who want to go and make a change, where they're like, I need to get out of this job. I really don't like what I'm doing. I know my industry isn't really good. Let me go out and I need to get a new job, new opportunity. Then I'll ask them, okay, great. Can you show me your portfolio? Can you show me your GitHub? Can you show me your resume? Can you show me all these things that somebody who's ready to jump ship right now should have? And more often than not, they don't have it. Which is kind of crazy because you think about it, like that is the number one thing you're going to need. And even in Web3, where your resume is not as important, still important, but not as important, you still need to have other things like a GitHub portfolio, or you have projects you've worked on, or you have people who you can vouch for you. They often don't think of these things. You should not wait until your employer fires you, you get laid off, or you get abused to the point where you're like, I gotta get the hell out of here. If you want to increase your opportunities and you want to go find something new, you should have the tools ready to be able to go and do that. So go create that portfolio, go create that resume, go do that. There's tons of great resources online. And if you want to, stay tuned to me because I'm going to have lots of great resources in the future about how to build good resumes, good portfolios, all that good stuff, and make that happen. But if you're really looking for opportunities, already have it ready. It only takes a few nights to really polish it up and get it ready. And if you're starting from scratch, you can find some great tutorials online on how to build basic projects and get things out into the world if you need to have something. There's better ways to do that, but that takes more time. But at least for now, have something that's out there so people can go view it. That's my fourth thing. Fifth thing, when you are ready to start learning a new technology, like you know there's a new area you just want to get into, you want to tinker with the tech, then show what you've built to different communities you're a part of. And what you've built can mean two things, right? Or what you built is just you built something. You're learning an AI tool and you came up with something cool. You're building a Web3 contract and it's something really interesting. You wrote a blog tutorial, whatever. There are really two groups you can show it to. You can show groups that are familiar with the technology. Maybe it's a new community you're a part of that you want to drive it, that you're going into, and you show them, hey, I built this tutorial. I really liked it. You can show them. Or you can go to groups that currently don't use the technology and show them what you built. Sometimes you may not get the reaction you're looking for because maybe the group doesn't like Web3 or they don't get AI or they don't get these projects, whatever it looks like. But you can still take it to old groups that you've been a part of, show them and say, hey, here's something wicked cool I built. What do you guys think? Again, this is kind of the same principle as building without permission. When you tinker with the technology, you need to show it to people, because when you show it to people, you start to tell them that you're somebody who builds, you're somebody who plays with things, you're somebody who produces results, because 90% of people don't have results. And at the end of the day, if you want to increase your opportunities, you need to increase your relationships. And those relationships are going to be bought or are going to be signaled by your ability to build without permission and showing that you can actually build things. And so, probably the most useful piece of advice, this is a newer piece of advice I've been giving on how to do this sort of things, where if you really want an opportunity but you're not sure about it or you're not sure how to make it work, you should do trial work periods. This is something that I learned from Mudit Gupta. He's the CSO of Polygon, right? And that's a C-level executive inside one of the biggest blockchain protocols today. And what he said is that he does not try a new job. He does not work at a new job until he does a trial period. And in the Web3 space, that makes a lot of sense, at least our field. But even in other fields, even in startups, it makes a lot of sense to be able to ask for that sort of thing, particularly when you're looking for new opportunities, you're talking to new businesses, you're looking for new opportunities, you're looking for new groups. Often, they don't always know if they want to hire you. They don't always know if they're working. And it's a really hard thing to say, hey, hire me full time because I want to be paid $150,000 a year, plus salary, plus benefits, plus get all these protections that you have to give me now, even though I'm only showing you a resume or piece of paper. However, if you are willing to go in and say, try me for a month, pay me for a part-time fee, we'll do 20 hours a week, let's go and see this work. What you're doing is you're making it a lot more easy to stomach working with you. If it doesn't work out, you can decide after a month and a half, it doesn't work out, or 6 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever it ends up being. If you structure that as a trial work period, you can say, I'm interested in being your community manager, but maybe it doesn't work out. So let's work 4 weeks here. Let's just do a trial one for 4 weeks. I'm going to do this, and you can decide, whatever the payment is, right? You can say, pay me this minimal amount after a few days. If it doesn't work out, we can call quits at any time there. Make it really easy to say yes. Because if you are as good as you say you are, and if you get through this trial period, they're going to want to get you. They're going to want to say, yes, come on board, get that time. Or they may say no, in which case you still have the experience of being able to work for that community. So if you're looking to increase your opportunities, and if you're starting to build relationships, learn to ask for trial work periods from folks so that you can go work with them and see how it works. And might even get paid along the way and be able to build experience. So these are some of my recommendations on how to be able to increase opportunities. I'd be very excited to hear if you have anything you'd like to add on. And thank you very much for spending some time with me today.